Welcome to Tamer Bowling Video Ball Reviews.
We need your support, so if you like what we do, please support us by joining our Patreon page.
Visit our partner pureatbowling.com and use the special code TAMER when making a purchase to be entered into a monthly drawing. I want to thank Limerick Bowl for their support. If you're in the area, don't forget to visit Limerick Bowl in Limerick, Pennsylvania.
Today we have the new Columbia 300 Baller. First impressions, pretty straightforward. Big asim with traction and good angle. It's a good effort for Columbia 300 in the top line. For value, give it a B-. The baller will find use on house shots for those needing a little help from a big piece. For others, they'll require more volume. Overall, we gave the baller a B on house shot. The baller, to be sure, rolls like the typical big asim ball. It has a heavy roll. The cover has some teeth to it out of the box. Being a hybrid, it also has some angularity down lane. It does have a defined motion as you would expect, meaning there is that sort of asim transition from hook to roll. It definitely forced me in. I've mentioned this before, but I don't have lots of tilt, but do have lots of axis rotation, so this typically means a sharp, truer movement. In other words, less forgiveness. So I can read the angularity the ball has for sure. At the same time, if I miss it at the bottom, it's clearly softer. What I found is I definitely needed to open up my angles to get the best out of this ball. It has that medium RG, which we've seen in some Columbia balls in the past, but still has a good mid-lane read from the cover. That medium RG allows the ball to store just a touch more energy to get that angularity. It definitely has that heavy roll with strong down lane motion. I found that I couldn't miss in as it never held. It's just too strong. With strong asims are typically unnecessary and sometimes frankly unusable on house shot. However, we have been surprised in the past, and the baller adds to the surprise list. With using that less axis rotation, he was fairly easily able to take advantage of that big asymmetric heavy roll. And since he's playing closer to the friction, it also starts up even a bit early, which gives control. Visually, you can see that heavy roll is just driving through the pins. It really looked pretty good for Sean. We would have thought, oh, too much surface or oh, too much ball, but no, it allowed him to play in the track pretty much and crush the pocket. The ball gave him a very true read of the lane and the pattern, and if he was a bit too direct, the ball told him as it kind of went a little high. If he was a touch too deep, the ball told him that as it just kind of came in soft. Ultimately, it offered really good pocket control. For Bryan, I would say we had a different picture. He had to experiment quite a long time to find the shot. The big issue was figuring out how to use the cover strength while finding the right angle he needed for the backhand. So when trying to move in to give the cover room but keep a tight break point, the ball never held. To take the same line with a little more room at the break point, and it deflected. So, moving outside to get more direct, ball wouldn't stay on line either. So he eventually settled around third arrow and let the ball loop back from the friction to hit. Again, the ball is too angular to just play up the boards on this house pattern. He needed to open up his angles, but find the right place to play on the lanes. Final thoughts? My initial impression stands. The Columbia 300 Baller is a good, strong asymmetric ball. It offers what you expect, and Columbia 300 fans will not be disappointed. The one thing I've established is that I'd rather have a ball that shapes, and I adjust, as opposed to a ball that won't, and I have to shape it. This ball is definitely in the former category, which bodes well for many bowlers.
安迪，都带有多，Tamer Bowling Ball Reviews。